Something very exciting is happening in the world of weather and in the world of space on Tuesday, March 1st. The latest in the GOES satellite family. The GOES-T satellite is going to be launched and headed up into space. Once it makes its way into orbit, it will now become the GOES-18 satellite, providing very important imagery from above to help weather forecasters. We're joined by Krissy Hurley, who is the Warning Coordination Meteorologist, WCM, for the National Weather Service office based in Nashville. Krissy, thank you for joining us. We are curious how the GOES-T, eventually to be GOES-18, is going to help NWS offices across the country in disseminating that weather information.
Yes, this satellite is going to be placed across the western half of the United States. So really, offices in Alaska, the West Coast are really going to benefit. But all of us are, since the Pacific Ocean doesn't have many observations, and we're not launching weather balloons across the ocean either. So this is going to provide key data in a kind of a data hole that we have, and we are very excited to get this information. Across land, we have weather observing systems that give us temperature, moisture, wind speed, wind direction. With these satellites, we're going to get that same type of information, but over the oceans. So that information is going to go into our forecast models that will help make those better, so that way we can provide better forecasts, earlier warnings, and information.
And you talked a little bit about that better forecast information, which is so important to folks at home. How is it going to improve my weather information on a day-to-day basis through those National Weather Service offices?
The satellite imagery is going to be a better resolution. It's going to be updated more frequently. And so that's going to help forecasters able to provide quicker notifications about anything from fires that have started, watching atmospheric rivers come in. Great story is the National Weather Service office in Louisville, Kentucky noticed a hot spot in a very rural location, rural part of the county in southern Kentucky, and it was at night. And it ended up being a tobacco barn fire. And they were able to call local authorities before any 911 calls saying that there was a fire. And so, GOES satellite imagery gives us these opportunities to help the public and watch for these types of hot spots. And that's just one example of how we're going to use this imagery.
This is pretty incredible to be able to, from a satellite in space, pinpoint a fire that no one yet on the ground has seen. And this is the kind of data that we're talking about that is making life-saving and life-changing weather information for the National Weather Service offices. And, we expect this satellite to be launched on Tuesday. I'm just curious, what happens in bad weather? Are you privy to that bad weather plan?
Well, it would be ironic, right? Bad weather to impact a weather satellite. But it looks like, the weather is going to be okay. But if something does happen and it does need to be postponed, it looks like the backup date is just Wednesday, March 2nd. So hopefully we can hit one of those two windows to get this satellite up into orbit.
What is the timeline on that for this starting to get ingested into our models and for National Weather Service offices to start looking at that GOES-18 satellite data?
It's going to be actually pretty quick. Once it gets into orbit, it's going to take a couple of months, but we really think that it will be into our operations by this summer. We just love GOES satellite.
Yeah. Awesome. Krissy, thank you so much for your time and the information you provided. We appreciate it, and we are looking forward to that GOES-T launch